Hello and welcome to She TV, the place to become powerfully feminine from the inside out. I'm Candice Oneida. Today I'm going to talk to you about the power of vulnerability, or otherwise we could call that how to be both soft and strong. I'm a great admirer of the work of Brené Brown, whose life's work really became about vulnerability. She created a TED Talk some 2 years ago that went totally viral on the topic of vulnerability, this thing that we avoid and absolutely avoid talking about. To her credit, she brought vulnerability out into the open and it has become a point of discussion. Being seen, coming out of hiding and speaking up are some of the most difficult things that I have observed for women to do. We don't even realize when, how, or even that we are doing this most of the time. In Brené Brown's book, Daring Greatly, she quotes, "Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen." Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy. The experiences that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. Now, we are not invulnerable, or else we'd be psychopaths. So why do we pretend to be so often? I'm here to tell you that vulnerability is not weakness. When did we learn that vulnerability meant weakness? Who told us that above all else, don't be vulnerable? Whoever or whatever passed you that message, it was wrong. It is via our willingness to open, to acknowledge our mistakes, to make amends, to be gentle with ourselves, to open and move on, that our humanity is shared with each other. Think about it. Have you ever hated someone for falling on their sword and apologizing to you? Have you ever attacked someone who was in grief or hurting? Have you ever seen someone or something that was exposed or unprotected or vulnerable and done anything else but gone toward it to help them, to protect them, to make them feel safe? Well, the same is for you. Now, I'm here to say that vulnerability is strength. It is a strength of willingness to let others in, to help you, to open. It is through vulnerability that we feel our heart, our humanity. Another quote from Brené Brown. "We cultivate love when we allow our most vulnerable and powerful selves to be deeply seen and known, and when we honor the spiritual connection that grows from that offering with trust, respect, kindness, and affection. It is there when we open up that we connect deeply with our core feminine selves, our juiciness, our aliveness, and our creativity. It is there that everything becomes possible, a new life, a new relationship, new horizons. We touch on the very source of life itself, its magic, its ability to transform even the deepest of wounds." As in Brené Brown's quote, "Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change." I'm really here today just to encourage you to put into question the inner belief and the dialogue that goes on around why you can't or shouldn't be vulnerable with someone. I have personally found that every time I do that with somebody, it is scary. It's as scary as heck. But what I find is the more I do that, the more receptive the world, people around me, situations become to me. Vulnerability is one of the core aspects of feminine power, and I highly encourage you to consider that your vulnerability is a strength and far from being a weakness. And remember, when you have the courage to go out there and shine, you give others permission to do the same. So let's go out there and shine this week. Bye-bye for now.